Good morning. Uh, just testing. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you.
Good morning. This is the Commissioners' Weekly Meeting for June 25th, 2025. I'm Eric Blank and Commissioner Gilman. You ready to approve the consent agenda?
Good morning. Yes, I vote to approve the consent agenda, and I did just want to give one more reminder that I'll be holding a public comment hearing tonight in proceeding 25A-0044EG. And that is a project proposing solutions to address gas service in Grand Lake, Granby, Winter Park, Dillon, Frisco, Copper Mountain, Breckenridge, Leadville, and other surrounding communities. That public comment hearing will be 5:30 to 7 p.m. tonight in Frisco at the Summit County Community and Senior Center.
No rest for the weary.
Hope to
Plan.
Well, there's a good excuse to go to Frisco right there.
Yeah, I guess. maybe I'll show up and share some comments.
Well, it's great to see you all, you guys, after so long.
Yeah.
I would vote to approve the consent agenda.
As would I. Proceeding number 25AL-0145G, Mr. Lemaire, Public Service Company of Colorado, GDSMCA.
Good morning, Commissioners. Again, my name is Patrick Lemaire with your Economics and Financial Analysis section. Can you hear me okay?
We can.
Okay, great. So today, the first proceeding I'm presenting is Public Service Company of Colorado's filing to revise its gas demand-side management cost adjustment, or just simply the DSM-CAG. On April 1st, 2025, Public Service filed advice letter number 1047 seeking to revise the gas DSMCA rider to be effective July 1, 2025. This routine semi-annual filing updates the DSMCA-G rates to reflect three components. First, the under or over collected balance in the 2024 gas DSM and BE, or Beneficial Electrification Tracker. Second, the gas DSM bonus and acknowledgement of lost revenues, or the ALR, from 2024 program performance. And third, the 2024 Clean Heat Plan true-up, along with incorporation of the approved 2025 Clean Heat Plan budget. The total recovery proposed by the company through the revised DSMCA-G rate is $66.4 million. This includes the 2025 DSM and BE budget of $28.5 million, performance incentives from 2024, including a bonus of $1.64 million and ALR of $2.62 million, and a net under collection from the 2024 DSM tracker accounts totaling approximately $7.3 million, and lastly, Clean Heat Plan costs of approximately $26.35 million. The adjustment results in a net increase of approximately $2 million compared to current DSMCA-G rates. Customer bill impacts from this adjustment are minimal, ranging from 14-cent increase, or roughly 0.2% for typical residential usage on a monthly basis, to a slight decrease for non-residential customers, ranging from 0.08% to 0.35%. The company's 2024 natural gas DSM portfolio achieved approximately 821,000 decatherms in savings, representing 91% of its goal. And the resulting overall modified TRC, our total resource cost test, resulted in a ratio of 1.26, meaning that there was an overall net benefit for each dollar spent. Staff found no material concerns with the tracker balance calculations or its application. This filing is consistent with established Commission rules and decisions and is procedurally aligned with forthcoming electric DSMCA filing I'll present next. At this point, I'll pause for any questions or discussions, or I can proceed to staff recommendation.
If you can give us your recommendation, that'd be great.
Sure. Staff recommends the Commission take no action and allow the advice letter to go into effect by the operation of law.
Commissioner Goman,
I agree.
Commissioner Plant,
That's great.
as do I. Proceeding number 25AL-0147E, electric DSMCA. Mr. Lemaire, you're on a roll.
Yep. So the next proceeding I'm presenting is the Public Service Company of Colorado's filing to revise its electric DSMCA. Again, on April 1, 2025, Public Service filed advice letter number 1981 seeking to revise its DSMCA-E rider effective July 1, 2025. Again, this filing is Public Service's standard semi-annual update to its DSMCA-E rider. Specifically, this filing updates cost recovery for the DSM and BE activities, incorporating prior year's tracker balances, performance incentives, the ALR, and the 2025 DSM BE approved budget under decision number C230701. It integrates the Clean Heat Plan cost recovery and compliance with the most recent Clean Heat Plan decision and prioritizes DSM and BE funds ahead of Clean Heat Plan funds. The result is a net revenue reduction of approximately $1.91 million compared to current DSMCA-E rates. Updated rates by schedule include slight decreases, with representative monthly bill impacts showing minimal reductions across customer classes. Residential customers will see a monthly decrease of about 0.06%, while commercial, secondary general, primary general, transmission general customers will see slight decreases of 0.05% to 0.07%. Staff's analysis confirmed the company's 2024 electric DSM portfolio achieved verified energy savings of approximately 400,000 megawatt hours, representing 86% of the annual goal. Portfolio-wide cost effectiveness measured by the MTRC was 1.44, representing net benefits for each dollar spent. No changes are proposed to the DSMCA rate, tariff formula, cost allocation, or eligibility criteria. Staff identified no variance or rule waivers. At this point, I will pause for any questions or discussion, or again, I'll proceed to a staff recommendation.
If you can give us a recommendation, that'd be great.
Staff recommends the Commission take no action and allow the advice letter to become effective by operation of law.
Commissioner Gilman,
I agree.
Commissioner Plant,
I agree.
as do I. And let's go to the third one of the trifecta, 25AL-0216G, GAS DSMCA. Mr. Lemire.
So next I'm presenting a stated proceeding number 25AL-0216G, which is Atmos Energy's filing to update its gas demand side management cost adjustment. Atmos filed advice letter number 628 to revise its DSMCA effective July 1, 2025. This annual formulaic filing, submitted pursuant to Commission Rule 4752D, updates DSM-related cost recovery for expenses incurred in 2024 and anticipated in 2025. The DSMCA rate reflects deferred balances, a DSM bonus, lost revenues, and the approved 2025 DSM budget established most recently in proceeding number 24A-0303G. Atmos proposes to recover approximately $1 million through the updated DSMCA rates. This includes, as stated, the approved 2025 DSM budget, deferred balances from the 2024 tracker accounts, comprising about $200,000 in residential undercollection and about $12,000 in non-residential overcollection. Additionally, there's a performance bonus of $6,000 and lost revenues of approximately $18,000. In 2024, Atmos achieved 138% of its planned decatherm savings goal, spending roughly 114% of its approved budget, generating net economic benefits of roughly $200,000. Portfolio-wide cost effectiveness measured by the MTRC was 1.13, again indicating benefits exceeding cost. Proposed rate adjustments are as follows. Residential DSM base rates increased slightly from 0.32 cents to 0.34 cents, and commercial DSM base rates increased more substantially from 0.41 cents to $2.29. Staff reviewed Atmos's DSM annual report and associated work papers, confirming material consistency with Commission rules. The requested bonus aligns with Commission methodologies and rules, falling below regulatory caps and accurately reflecting the DSM portfolio performance. Additionally, staff verified the accuracy of deferred balances and interest calculations. Despite the considerable increase in commercial rates, staff identified no improper allocation or inflation of cost, recognizing these are the outcome of the previously approved DSM plan for 2025. At this point, I'll pause for any questions or discussion, or I can proceed to the staff recommendation.
No, if you can get a recommendation, that'd be great.
Staff recommends the Commission take no action and allow the advice letter to become effective by operation of law.
Commissioner Gilman,
I agree.
Commissioner Plant.
I also agree. I have one quick question for you, Mr. Lemire. In your summary, I think you talked about the home energy audit and the home energy reports had the lower MTRC ratings. And I was wondering if, and they argue that they're still necessary because they give valuable information. And I was wondering if those TRCs are based on deemed savings, or if it's because people get an audit, but then they don't actually do anything, or if they get a report and then they don't do anything. Is it a deemed thing, or is it something that reflects customer behavior after getting those services?
So the 2024, the two programs that you referenced would be based on the 2024 report on how the DSM measures are performing. And so usually what the utility will do is they'll assume savings for a particular program, and then they'll do an evaluation EMB report, typically by a third party, to determine whether those savings were actual savings. So the MTRCs that you're seeing are based on the 2024 performance and then verified through the measurement and verification process as well. And so if that's helpful, in short, the 2024 MTRC rates are the actual TRC rates after implementation. Specifically, for those home energy reports, it would be verified savings by a third party after they're implemented.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, that's sort of in line with what we've found in the past, is that, there's a real gap and you get an audit or you get a report and then action. And, so the effort is put into, identifying the measures, but then there's a gap, and there's, it indicates that there's a need for sort of a facilitated rampway to actually getting things done after you get a report or you get an audit. And I was just wondering if that was based on performance, and it sounds like it was through an M&B process. They just found that people weren't doing the stuff.
Yeah, that's an accurate representation.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Sure.
Did you vote?
I did. I supported it.
Okay. As do I. Thank you, Mr. Lemaire. Appreciate you. 25AL-0227G, Mr. Lay, Black Hills GCA.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Ron Lay with PC Fix Utility staff. I'll be presenting on the gas cost adjustment filed by Black Hills Natural Gas on May 28, 2025, which it's required to do on a quarterly basis. This filing is primarily to modify the company's GCA rates to recover forecasted GCA commodity costs and deferred GCA cost effective July 1st, 2025. The GCA rate will increase for customers located in the Eastern GCA region and decrease for customers located in the Western GCA region. The difference between the Eastern and Western GCA regions is an increase in the Western over-recorded deferred balance, which results in the lower rate. Projected rate impacts based on average usage vary by class and meter size or meter type, and can be found on the filing that was the submittal that was included with the filing. I can pause here for questions or proceed to the staff recommendation.
If you can go to the recommendation, that'd be great.
Cool. Staff has reviewed the filing, as found it contains all required exhibits, and recommends that the Commission deem the application complete and allow the advice letter to become effective by rule of law.
Commissioner Goman.
I agree.
Commissioner Plant.
I also agree.
As do I. Thank you, Mr. Lay.
Thanks. Have a good day.
You too. Proceeding number 25AL-0231G, Black Hills DSMCA, Mr. Lemaire. You're back.
Morning again. Moving on to that next proceeding, you had mentioned proceeding number 25AL-0231G, Black Hills, Colorado's filing to update its gas demand side management cost adjustment. On June 3rd, 2025, Black Hills filed an amended advice letter number 57, seeking to revise its DSMCA effective July 1, 2025. This filing is an annual formulaic update reflecting recovery of costs associated with Black Hills 2024 DSM program performance, and includes the 2024 actual expenditures, lost revenues, and tracker balances. No DSM bonus is requested for 2024 due to negative net benefits in programs eligible under a commission-approved bonus framework, which was established in the 2024 2024 through 2025 DSM plan. Black Hills proposes to recover approximately $7.85 million through its updated DSMCA rates, representing an increase of about $917,000 compared to current DSM rates. In 2024, Black Hills achieved approximately 91,000 decatherms of energy savings, or 91% of its targeted goal. Total expenditures were $6.41 million. And despite this, portfolio-wide cost effectiveness measured by the MTRC remained positive at 1.49. However, as noted, specific bonus eligible programs, including the school-based energy education and non-residential new construction programs, did not achieve positive net benefits, resulting in a MTRC of 0.87. Consequently, no bonus is requested here. The proposed DSMCA rate adjustments across all rate areas are for residential rates an increase of approximately 10%, for small commercial, large commercial, and irrigation rates an increase of approximately 16%. Staff has reviewed the company's DSM annual report, tracker balances, and lost revenue calculation, finding all aspects accurately calculated are accurately calculated and consistent with established commission methodology. At this point, I will pause for any questions or discussion, or I can proceed to the staff recommendation.
Nope, if you can give us your recommendation, that'd be great.
Staff recommends the commission take no action and allow the amended advice letter number 57 to become effective by operation of law.
Commissioner Gilman,
I agree.
Commissioner Plain,
I agree.
as do I. Thank you, Mr. Lemaire. Proceeding number 25AL-0237E, Mr. Rivera Lugo, Black Hills ECA.
Good morning, Commissioners. Luis Rivera Lugo with Commission staff, presenting proceeding 25AL-0237E regarding advice letter 890, filed May 30th, 2025 by Black Hills Colorado Electric to increase the energy cost adjustment rate to become effective July 1st, 2025. On June 2nd, the company filed an amended advice letter to correctly reflect the ECA tariff sheets being affected by the filing. On June 18, Interim Commission Decision C25-0464I was made effective, granting the motion for alternative form of notice filed related to this proceeding. The energy cost adjustment, or ECA rate, is updated quarterly and applies to all of the company's retail customers to recover costs incurred for natural gas used in the production of electricity, wholesale power purchase in the open market, and certain costs associated with the renewable energy production. These costs incurred by the company are strictly passed through in nature and included in the application's recovery true-up balance as of April 30th, 2025. The annual ECA components in this filing represent an increase in the company's expected cost of energy for the rolling 12 months ending June 30th, 2026, mostly due to the forecasted cost to purchase power from the company's independent power producing units, as well as the forecasted cost to purchase other market energy. According to the application and consistent with Decision C25-0183E, in proceeding number 24AL-0275E, this ECA will be the first quarter in which the company applies a line loss adjustment in the calculation of its voltage differentiated rates, depending upon the categorization of the customer. All residential and commercial customers fall within the same secondary voltage categorization. Advice Letter 890 proposes a 17% increase, or 0.71 cents per kilowatt hour in the ECA to 4.867 cents per kilowatt hour for all retail and small commercial customers. The proposed adjustment will result in approximately $11.9 million increase in annual revenues for Black Hills. The impact for an average usage residential customer will be an increase of $4.54 or 3.8% in its monthly electric bill, while in a small commercial customer it will be an increase of $17.38 or 4.44%. Now I'll proceed with a staff recommendation before posing for any questions, if okay with you.
Yep.
We reviewed the application and all supporting exhibits without any further issues or material findings. Staff recommends the commission take no action and allow this advice letter as amended to go into effect by operation of law.
Commissioner Gilman.
Thanks, Mr. Rivera-Lugo. And just to follow up on this one, in contrast to what we're seeing in some of the GCA, steam cost adjustment, this is an increase in a rather substantial increase in the ECA, at this time of year. And I was just curious if you had any kind of better understanding as to why this one sticks out as an outlier with a more major increase in the middle of summer in the ECA.
We're waiting for more details from Black Hills, who put a request this morning for more information, but it's basically due to the projected purchase power. Remember that this GCA always projects a rolling 12 months. It's not a quarter projection like in the other utility. This is a full year projected, but also to remind you that this is a pass-through, that it's true up and prudence every year. But it's basically due to the estimates of purchase power, which is actually 43% higher than the previous GCA. And it is offset by an 18% reduction in internal generation costs. So that's why we're asking more information for the strategy behind these projections.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, it would be great to learn more, just since this one doesn't look all that much like the others we're seeing right now, and a really unfortunate increase.
For perspective, last GCA, last ECA from Black Hills was also an increase of $8.2 million. This one is 11.1.
Thank you. I agree with your recommendation and would appreciate any additional info as that comes in.
Commissioner Plant.
Yeah, I agree as well. And just a quick question as a follow-up on that. So they do this estimate every 12 months based on the projection?
Every 3 months, they update a rolling 12 months.
Oh, okay. And
so
then,
that's why it's also hard to compare, because the previous ECA was for also 12 months, but not ending in June.
okay. And you mentioned that the last one was a substantial increase. This one was an increase. Do we see ever that there's a sort of a balancing?
Well, yeah, historically they go up and down. In the last two, what we've seen is that the projections has been too conservative, so the actual collections have been less than the actual cost. That's why the true-up recovery balance has also been increasing, and it's one of the factors for the increase. It's not only the purchase power.
Thank you. Yeah, I support the recommendation.
As do I. And Mr. Rivera-Lugo, if you could stay around, I'm going to take proceeding number 25AL-0239E, the Public Service Company ECA, out of order, and ask you to take that while we have you up.
Okay, so I'm going to present now proceeding 25AL-239E. Concerning advice letter number 1983 electric, filed May 30th, 2025 by Public Service Company of Colorado to update its quarterly electric commodity adjustment, or ECA, applicable to all electric base rate schedules effective July 1st, 2025. The ECA factors will decrease from those currently in effect, excluding residential and EDR rates, which are increasing. Contemporaneously with this advice letter, the company filed a motion for an alternative form of notice, which was duly approved by Interim Commission Decision C25-0466I, effective June 18. Public Service also concurrently filed a motion for partial and temporary waiver to tariff sheets number numbers 143D through F, to allow it to include in a DCA a $3.4 million credit to customers for a liquidated damages payment associated with the Cheyenne Ridge Wind project that the company received in March 2025. The quarterly ECA adjustment reflects updated fuel, purchase energy, and wheeling costs projected for the period from July 1st through September 30th, 2025, the related ECA deferred account balance as of April 30th, and the following required Commission-approved ECA formula components: the Rush Creek Wind Project's capital cost sharing, Cheyenne Ridge and Rush Creek Wind Project's production tax credits, the deferred tax assets revenue requirement, the Renewable Connect program subscription payments, the Renewable Energy Standard adjustments, net average incremental debit, the Western Energy Imbalance Service entry and administrative fees amortization, the medical exemption program loss revenues, customers' retail share of the short-term sales trade margin earned by the company, the IVVO energy reduction benefit for 2023, $140,000 CSG-related credit to ratepayers arising from the recent 2023 ECI prudence review, and the previously mentioned $3.4 million credit to customers for the liquidated damages payment associated with the Cheyenne Ridge Wind project. Pursuant to the settlement agreement approved by Commission Decision R20-010A, the company also includes as part of its quarterly ECA filings certain additional operational system reports to assist the Commission in its monitoring of its transition to a more renewable, less fossil-based generation fleet. As usual, this information is contained in Exhibit 10 to PSCO's filing. Public Service is requesting the ECA factors for the third quarter of 2025 to be increased 2% from the current rate of 3.113 cents per kilowatt hour to the proposed 3.178 cents. The average residential customer's monthly bill will increase by 40 cents or 0.41%. For small commercial customers, PSCO is requesting the ECA factors for the third quarter of 2025 to be decreased to 2.6% from the current commercial rate of 3.33 cents to the proposed 3.245 cents. The average small commercial customer's monthly bill will decrease by 79 cents or 0.62%, all of which translates into a projected decrease of approximately $3 million in Public Services third quarter 2025 revenues. I will equally now proceed with my recommendation unless you have any questions.
Yeah, if you can go to your recommendation, that'd be great.
Okay. Staff has reviewed the advice letter, the accompanying tariffs, and its supporting working papers with no material issues found. We recommend the Commission take no further action to allow this advice letter go into effect by operation of law, and that the accompanying motion for partial and temporary waiver be duly approved and by an ABC order.
Commissioner Gilman.
I agree.
Commissioner Plant.
I agree.
As do I. Thank you. And as you say, that can be an ABC order. Thank you, Mr. Rivera-Lugo. Dr. Bongiardina, proceeding 25AL-0238E, Black Hill offsite net metering.
Good morning. Can you hear me okay?
We can.
Great. Again, I'm Nick Bongiardino with your engineering staff. On March 30th, 2025, Black Hills Electric filed advice letter 891 seeking to update the fixed reasonable charge applicable to the offsite net metering service to be effective July 1 of 2025 for a period of 12 months. The updated charge increases the rate from $0.03187 per kilowatt hour from $0.02965 per kilowatt hour. No customers are currently participating in the offsite net metering, and the company doesn't receive any revenues as a result of this rate. Quick and easy one. I can pause here for discussion or provide a recommendation.
No, if you can go to your recommendation, that'd be great.
I recommend the commission take no action and allow the advice letter to go into effect by operation of law.
Commissioner Gilman,
I agree.
Commissioner Plant,
I agree.
as do I. Proceeding number 25AL-0240G, CNG DSMCA. Dr. Bongiardina.
Thank you. And Mr. Lemire is also here for any questions if needed. On May 30th, 2025, Colorado Natural Gas, or CNG, filed advice letter number 143, seeking to revise its demand-side management cost adjustment, or DSMCA rider, to be effective July 1, 2025, for a period of 12 months. The company is requesting to revise the DSMCA rates for residential, commercial, and large commercial customers. The changes reflect under collection of $139,980, the company's bonus of $144,689 for hitting 137% of its DSM target, and lost revenue of $65,034. The full table detailing the specific DSMCA increases for each rate class and area are fully detailed in the tariff. The cumulative effect of the DSMCA rate changes will be to increase the company's revenues in the Bailey division by about $50,000, the South Park division by about $22,000, the Pueblo West division by about $28,000, the Eastern Colorado division by about $38,000, the Cripple Creek division by about $25,000, for a total increase of $163,122. This results in an estimated DSMCA rider increase between 21% and 50%, depending on the rate area and class. The total bill impact for customers is between 0.3% and 0.4% for residential customers, and 0.7% and 1.8% for non-residential customers. I can pause here for any questions, or I can provide a recommendation.
No, if you can give us a recommendation, that'd be great.
I recommend the commission take no action and allow the advice letter to go into effect by operation of law.
Commissioner Gilman,
I agree.
Commissioner Plant,
I agree.
as do I. Thank you, Dr. Bongiardina.
Thank you very much.
The next one is 25A-0194E, and I guess I'd like to suggest that we, instead of trying to grapple with it today, deem it complete and refer it to an ALJ, given that I haven't had a chance to look at this, given the ERP, I'm wondering if you guys would be all right if we just did an ABC order, tolling the completeness determination and then just bringing it back in a coming CWM once we've had a chance to look at it. I don't anticipate problems. I don't expect problems, but I just haven't had a chance to look at it. So, Mr. Davis, is that an acceptable thing we can do today if we so desire?
If the commission would like to simply vote on adopting an order that would prevent the application from being deemed complete automatically pursuant to the commission's rules, then I can bring the matter back later.
And this is the Public Service Company Res Compliance Plan. Would that be okay with you, Commissioner Gilman?
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out, Mr. Davis, we're under some time clock on the DDG portion. Is that accurate? That's like the most pressing piece.
Well, there are some deadlines that are in Senate Bill 24207 that occur in 2026. However, the company has put forward a proposal for why it is prepared to make available capacity by the first deadline, which I think is in February of next year. And that proposal may actually not tie to the commission's decision here. It may reflect more of a legal interpretation of whether the company's actions comply with what it means to make available an annual capacity allocation for what is called inclusive community solar. The acquisition of distributed generation that is dispatchable, or DDG, that deadline is actually later in 2026, and it can be addressed, I think, if the commission proceeds on a schedule where the proceeding is clocked beginning at a date later than when the application would otherwise deem complete automatically on July 1st.
Okay, thank you. Sorry for the convoluted question, but trying to sort it all out. Yeah, I mean, I'm generally fine with the idea. I tried to give it a really quick review, especially with regard to DDG and the Battery Connect program, which clearly have implications across other proceedings, including TTS, including potentially DSP and VPP, and also notably the DSMSI that's due next summer, where we've already asked the company to kind of explore the entire ecosystem of demand response and demand flexibility. And so it certainly strikes me that the parameters around, a distributed battery program would be of interest there as well. So I think we have some work to do to figure out how these things all fit together, and ensure they're being considered kind of in the most holistic way. But yeah, I'm fine pushing it off. I didn't have any brilliant ideas this week, but more just to point out the real integration, especially of like the Battery Connect issue across several different proceedings, where we're really trying to optimize the value and increase flexibility for those sort of customer facing programs, considering the totality of the benefits we'd like to get from such a resource.
I did not have a chance to look at this at all, so you're more diligent than I am. I don't know, Commissioner Plant.
Yeah, so is the idea that we would basically extend the time frame, take it up in a week or two?
Yeah.
Yeah, I support doing that.
So, Mr. Davis, can that be an ABC order?
So the reason that it's not being deemed complete today is press of business?
Yeah.
Okay, yes, an ABC order deferring or delaying the determination of completeness due to the press of business can be issued from today's meeting.
Thank you, sir. Proceeding number 25A-0266E, Tri-State Generation and Transmission application to join SPP RTO West. Ms. Rosati.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Wendy Rosati of your Commission Council. On June 16th, 2025, Tri-State Generation and Transmission Association, Incorporated, filed an application requesting the Commission find it is in the public interest for Tri-State to participate in the Southwest Power Pool's Regional Transmission Organization in the Western Interconnection, starting April 1st, 2026. Tri-State makes 3 requests in the alternative. The first request is that the Commission find that the SPP RTO in the Western Interconnection satisfies the characteristics of an organized wholesale market in accordance with Section 40-5-108 of the Colorado Revised Statutes and Commission Rule 3752N, and that Tri-State's participation in the SPP RTO is in the public interest pursuant to Commission rules. Their second alternative request is that the Commission find the SPP RTO satisfies certain criteria specified in Commission rules, and that Tri-State's participation is in the public interest, and to the extent necessary, grant a waiver of the requirement to join a statutory organized wholesale market, or OWM, on or before January 1st, 2030, in accordance with the statutory provisions. Their third alternative request is that if the commission does not grant either of the first or second requests, then Tri-State be granted a waiver in accordance with section 40-5-108 subsection 2, which would allow for Tri-State's participation in the SPP RTO in the Western Interconnection. In the application, Tri-State explains that it has entered into a commitment agreement to transition its load, resources, and transmission assets in the Western Area Colorado-Missouri Balancing Authority into the SPP RTO. The loads and resources in the Wacom BA area include a portion of Tri-State's Colorado system, which is why it is seeking a determination from the commission. Along with its application, Tri-State filed a motion requesting the commission approve its proposals for a procedural schedule, discovery procedures, and treatment of confidential information. The motion addresses the abbreviated application process contemplated by Commission Rule 3753D and proposes comment deadlines, a public comment hearing date, and notes a November 13th, 2025 deadline for a commission decision, which is within 150 days of the filing of the application. Under Commission Rule 3754F, at least 9 months ahead of commencing planned operations in an RTO or ISO, Tri-State is required to submit an application consistent with Commission rules, requesting the Commission determine that participation in the market is in the public interest. Upon receipt of the filing, the rule requires the Commission to open an abbreviated adjudicatory proceeding, notice the filing, establish an intervention period for the purpose of establishing parties, and set a schedule for receiving written, initial, and responsive comments in a way that results in a written decision within 150 days of the filing of the application. With that background, I can pause for commissioner questions or provide a recommendation.
No, if you've got a recommendation, that'd be great.
Given that the commission rules contemplate an abbreviated adjudicatory schedule for this type of application, I recommend setting a shortened notice and intervention period ending July 9th and requiring intervention responses and responses to Tri-State's procedural motion by July 14th. This would allow the commission to take up interventions and the procedural schedule issue as early as the July 16th weekly meeting.
Commissioner Gumman.
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Rosati. I agree.
Commissioner Plant.
I agree.
As do I, and that can be an ABC decision, setting a short notice and intervention period and response time. So thank you, Ms. Rosati.
Thank you.
25L-0258G Atmos GCA, Mr. Duncan.
Can you hear me, commissioners?
We can.
All righty. Good morning, commissioners. My name is Chris Duncan. I'm with trial staff. On June 13th, Atmos filed their quarterly GCA for the third quarter of 2025. While this is an overall decrease in revenue for all three rate divisions, the rate divisions being North, Southeast, and Southwest, two divisions are seeing a GCA rate decrease. One is seeing a slight GCA rate increase. However, all are seeing reductions in revenue, mostly due to volumetric and usage concerns. The ultimate commodity rate and transportation rate is also decreasing in all three zones. However, the Southwestern Division has had an increase in under-recovered deferred costs, and they are seeing about a 10% increase in their GCA rate. The Southeastern Division is seeing a marginal decrease in their GCA rate, and the Northern Division is seeing about a 10% decrease in their GCA rate. Are there any questions, or would you like me to get to my recommendation?
No, if you can go to your recommendation, that'd be great.
Staff has reviewed the application and recommends that you deem the application complete and grant the application to change the GCA on less than statutory notice.
Commissioner Gumman.
I agree.
Commissioner Plant.
I agree.
As do I, and again, as you suggest, that can be an ABC decision. So thank you, Mr. Duncan.
Thank you.
Proceeding 25L-0260G, Mr. Rivera Lugo, Public Service Company, GCA.
Good morning again. Now presenting proceeding 25L0260G concerning Public Service Company of Colorado's application for an order authorizing the revision of its gas cost adjustment or GCA on less than statutory notice to be effective July 1st, 2025. The GCA is the fuel adjustment clause mechanism by which public service reflects increases or decreases in the cost of gas and refunds or collects the difference between what customers were billed for the natural gas commodity and what actually was paid for it by the companies. Since the commodity of cost of gas is a pass-through cost without any markup to the customers. The GCA is revised on a quarterly basis pursuant to the company's GCA tariff as set forth in sheets number 50 through 50I to Gas Utility Rules 4603 and 4604 and the Agreement on Procedures and Operation of the GCA in Decision C09-0596 as modified in proceeding number 088-095G. PSCO filed this verified application on June 13 to reflect a decrease in the forecasted cost of natural gas for the months of July, August, and September of 2025, with a proposed effective date of July 1st, and a request that it be granted on less than statutory notice. A motion for an alternative form of notice was also concurrently filed. The change in revenue resulting from the proposed third quarter 2025 GCA rates is a decrease of $2.7 million in PSCO's July-September 2025 revenue when compared to the revenue that would be collected under the current rates. Residential natural gas bills would decrease by $1.46 per month or 2.24%, while typical small business natural gas bills would decrease by $7.11 per month or 2.57%. Now I'll offer my recommendations before posting for your questions, okay?
Yes.
Staff reviewed the application, the accompanying tariffs, and supporting work papers with no material issues found. The application contains all the elements required by Commission rules, and it should be deemed complete. The Commission should find good cause to allow the requested decrease in GCA rates on less than statutory notice and also grant the company's alternative form of notice motion, as well as the requested variance to incorporate the deferred gas cost adder into the third quarter GCA. And all of that through an ABC order.
Commissioner Gemmon.
I agree.
Commissioner Plant.
I agree.
As do I. And again, that can be an ABC order. So thank you, Mr. Rivera Lugo.
Thank you.
Ms. Hensley, gas pipeline safety and advanced leak detection technology rulemaking.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Casey Hensley, Pipeline Safety Program Chief with Wendy Rosati of your Commission Council. During the 2021 session, the Colorado State Legislature passed Senate Bill 21108, which included various directives, including directing the Commission to adopt gas pipeline safety rules that address the use of advanced leak detection technology to meet the need for pipeline safety and protection of the environment. For the purposes of this presentation, I refer to advanced leak detection technology as ALDT. Rules were adopted through proceeding number 22R0491, which implemented Senate Bill 21108. The Commission's final decisions determined that, except for certain reporting requirements, rules on ALDT will be taken up in a future dedicated proceeding due to the highly technical nature of the subject. Because Commission staff were already undergoing a stakeholder process on ALDT, and because the federal regulator for pipeline safety, the Pipeline and Hazardous Materials Safety Commission, Safety Administration, or PHMSA, was in the middle of a very similar rulemaking that was expected to be finalized in January 2025. PHMSA's final rule resulting from that rulemaking never became effective. During the 2025 session, the Colorado State Legislature passed House Bill 25-1280, which directed the Commission to adopt rules relating to pipeline safety and repair and the use of advanced leak detection technology by November 1, 2025. As a result of both of these bills in multiple stakeholder sessions, I present these proposed rules to make updates to the rules regarding pipeline operators and gas pipeline safety, primarily to add rules on ALDT survey requirements and leak classification and repair requirements. Additional proposed changes are intended to provide clarity, consistency, and incorporation of recent federal standards and consistent reporting requirements. Notably, the rules propose to define ALDT as commercially available equipment that can detect leaks in gas pipelines at a detection threshold of 10 kilograms per hour emission rate with 90% or greater probability of detection or better, to use with other Part 192 regulated gas pipeline facilities or within a suite of mutually reinforcing technologies to offer comparable leak detection ability. This definition results from the unpublished PHMSA final ALDT rule, stakeholder discussions, and industry committee input. It's also intended to reflect that detection technologies perform differently under different environmental conditions, such as wind or temperature, for example, while still imposing a minimum effectiveness requirement. Proposed Rule 11209 requires periodic leak surveys using ALDT with different leak survey intervals required for different types of pipelines. This would be a more stringent requirement for operators, which are currently required to perform leak surveys on longer federal intervals and without the use of ALDT. Proposed Rule 11210 would codify and add to industry standards on leak grading, specifically adding leak volume criteria to capture leaks posing environmental harm, and would connect leak grades to specific repair timeframes. Currently, operators use generally accepted leak grading that considers hazards to persons and property. While this works well for high-risk incidents located in populated areas and requires immediate repair for high-risk leaks, current leak classification and lack of robust repair requirements can lead to less hazardous leaks emitting GHG or greenhouse gases and risking public safety in rural areas indefinitely. Proposed leak grades and repair times are at a high level. Grade 1 leaks are leaks that represent an existing or probable hazard to persons or property and requires immediate repair or corrective action. Grade 2 leaks are non-hazardous at the time of detection, but justifies a scheduled repair based on a probable future hazard, including an estimated leakage rate of 5 kilograms per hour or more, and any leak of LPG, hydrogen gas, or carbon dioxide. Grade 2 leaks must be repaired within 6 months. Grade 3 leaks are non-hazardous and can reasonably be expected to remain non-hazardous. These include leaks detected by any reading of gas outside of the pipe. Grade 3 leaks must be monitored every 6 months and repaired within 24 months, unless the pipeline is scheduled for abandonment within 5 years. In that case, the 6-month monitoring requirement would continue to apply instead of the repair requirement, with the intent to limit spending on the gas system where environmental harm is small. The proposed rules would fulfill requirements in SB 21108 and HB 25-1280 to address the use of advanced leak detection technology and leak repair to meet the need for pipeline safety and protection of the environment. While state law allows the Commission a broader role in efforts to reduce greenhouse gas emissions in other contexts, for example, through Clean Energy Plan and Clean Heat Plan proceedings with emission reduction targets, this general utility regulation is done separately and under different statutory requirements than the Commission's pipeline safety program. The Pipeline Safety Program operates under a delegation of federal authority from PHMSA as allowed by federal and state statute. The Commission may adopt additional and more stringent safety standards as long as the standards are compatible with minimum safety standards in federal regulations. Importantly, the proposed rules are intended to remain compatible with federal regulations while increasing public safety and environmental protection through the use of ALDT as required by state statute. It is important to note that the current timeline allows for the possibility of a recommended or final decision on the ALDT rules before November 1st, 2025, as required by HB 25-1280. However, if multiple rounds of public comment are needed, we may recommend brief temporary rules in October of 2025 to meet the statutory requirements while the ALJ processes the permanent rules. Council and I will return in October with redline temporary rules if this step is needed. With that background and discussion, I can pause here for commissioner questions or provide a recommendation.
If you can give a recommendation, we'll come back with question, comments, or a vote.
Sure. The proposed rules have been circulated to the commissioners. Staff recommends the commission open a notice of proposed rulemaking for those proposed rules in regards to the proposed amendments to the rules regulating pipeline operators and gas pipeline safety. Staff also recommends the commission refer the proceeding to an administrative law judge.
Commissioner Gellman.
Thanks, Ms. Hensley. I appreciate the information and you helping pull together the SNOPR, and I agree with your recommendation.
Commissioner Plant.
I also agree, and thank the entire team for all the work you've done on this in the last few years. It's been pretty extensive and picking up where the federal government left off. I appreciate all that work. Thanks.
I agree as well, and that can be an ABC decision, opening a rulemaking, issuing an OPR, and propose rules and referring the matter to an ALJ. So thank you, Ms. Hensley.
Thank you.
Ms. Rosati, GIS data on pipeline safety. Bring us home.
Yes, thank you, Chair. On June 20th, 2025, Public Service Company of Colorado, Black Hills Colorado Gas Incorporated, Atmos Energy Corporation, and Colorado Natural Gas Incorporated jointly filed a petition seeking a declaratory order pursuant to Rule 1304F of the Commission's rules. The petition seeks clarification regarding the scale at which joint petitioners' GIS pipeline data attributes will be displayed and made available to the public under Commission Rule 11100C, Roman numeral 3, subsection A. The joint petitioners also seek a stay of public disclosure of this pipeline data until the Commission decides this matter. The joint petitioners explain that in a prior rulemaking, proceeding number 22R-0491 GPS, the Commission adopted the rule at issue that requires the development of an online GIS map viewer that uses pipeline operators' GIS data. The joint petitioners explain that during the rulemaking, they raised security concerns as reasons to not release this data at a detailed scale. The joint petitioners state in the Commission's final decisions in that proceeding, the Commission acknowledged these security concerns and allowed for the confidentiality of the GIS data, as well as publication of the pipeline data at a more appropriate scale. Specifically, the joint petitioners state the Commission determined that the 1 to the 6,000th scale for presentation of a utility's GIS data is consistent with the scale used by other state agencies and is consistent with the intent of the proposed rules and statutory requirement, but also allowed that any data provided confidentially must be filed with a publicly accessible version at a scale greater than or equal to 1 to the 24,000th. The joint petitioners state that they have provided GIS data with designations of confidentiality to the Commission's pipeline safety staff. They assert that through attending demonstrations put on by the Commission's pipeline safety staff of the planned online map viewer, it is unclear exactly what information Commission staff intends to release and whether staff intends to release the GIS information designated as confidential in a way that can be accessed at a scale less than 1 to the 24,000th by the general public. Therefore, they seek clarification from the Commission that confidentially filed pipeline GIS data will not be released to the public at a scale less than 1 to the 24,000th. They request that publication and sharing of the data be stayed until the Commission issues a final decision on the petition. Pursuant to Rule 1304F of the Commission's Rules of Practice and Procedure, the Commission may entertain a petition for declaratory order to terminate a controversy or remove an uncertainty regarding a Commission rule. It is within the Commission's discretion whether to accept or not accept a petition for declaratory order. With that background, I can pause for questions or provide a recommendation.
Yeah, if you could give us a recommendation, that'd be great.
I recommend the Commission accept the petition for declaratory order, set a 30-day notice intervention and response period, and stay public disclosure of the GIS mapping data until this matter is decided.
Commissioner Gilman,
I agree.
Commissioner Plant,
I also agree.
as do I, and that can be an ABC decision accepting the petition, setting the intervention and comment period. So thank you, Ms. Rosati.
Thank you.
Commissioner Gilman, final thoughts?
No, nothing additional. Thanks.
Commissioner Plant,
Nope, just have a great time tonight, Commissioner Gilman, at the public meeting. Look forward to hearing what you hear.
with that, we're adjourned. Thanks all.